We're going to be talking about OMNY today, which is the new Metro card system, stands for One Metro at New York. And we've talked about it before. So this is a whole other update. So some of it's going to be a little bit of review, but I had a request to talk about this and a request to specifically talk about how to switch senior fare Metro cards, reduced fare senior cards over to the OMNY system. So that's part of what we're going to focus on today. Okay, so this is just a little bit of review. If you're paying standard fare with OMNY, which some of you might be doing already, you don't need anything like an OMNY account. You don't have to sign up for anything. If you have one of these debit, credit, or prepaid cards that has that little symbol on it, that means you have a contactless card and you can just like tap your card in order to pay for a full fare. Remember, this is going to charge you $2.90 per ride. So if you don't have any sort of reduced fare benefits or anything like that, all you have to do is just tap your card. Or if you have a digital wallet, you can do the same thing. Like, so if you pay with your phone, you can do that as well. Also, there are OMNY cards now too. So if you're not somebody who to use a debit or credit card or your digital wallet, there's going to be physical OMNY cards that you can reload either online or in an OMNY vending machine. And we'll talk about that a little in a second. But again, this is if you're paying full fare. You don't have to do anything specific. You just go in and tap one of those devices. Okay, so what's new? Since the last time we spoke, I think last time I told you that they were in the process of rolling out these OMNY card vending machines. They're in real limited locations right now, but they are in existence. Before, there were just sort of real spotty places where you could get the physical OMNY card itself. So again, this is if you don't want to pay with your own credit card or a digital wallet. So if you want one of those physical OMNY cards and you're paying full fare, you can go to one of these locations and purchase one of the cards. They're only $1 to purchase right now, and then you add, money to them at the time, which is the same as what a Metro card is right now. So it makes sense to go ahead and get an OMNY card if you want to be using the physical card to pay full fare. And it'll walk you through the steps, adding value to your OMNY card. So again, the cards themselves cost $1 right now. That might go up in the future. I think they might have been like $5 before they put in the machine. So it might be, I think it's like a promo thing. So maybe go ahead and get them while you can if that is the method that you would like to use. The OMNY card is also contactless, so you would tap it just like you would any contactless card, like a credit card or debit card. Okay, so I had some real specific questions about, can you switch your senior reduced fare Metro card to OMNY? The answer is yes, okay? And the process is going to be exactly like if you had a reduced fare card for a disability. So these are interchangeable sort of in the way that you switch over to OMNY. So if you have a reduced fare Metro card for any reason, except for fair fares is not part of this yet. But if you have a senior reduced card or a reduced card because you have a disability, this is how you're going to switch that reduced fare Metro card over to OMNY. So this is step-by-step process. So the first thing you want to do is open your browser. So Google Chrome, Explorer, whatever it is you use to access the internet, and go to omny.info. So that's going to be the OMNY page. And this is actually a really good page if you have any questions about OMNY. There's a lot of frequently asked questions on there and answers to check out. And they do have some good videos that walk you through these steps as well. So go ahead and open that on the internet. And then you're going to click in the 3 lines at the top corner where it says menu. Okay, to get to the next step. And once you do that, you should see a screen that looks something like this one on the left here. So you're going to click on this box that says register. And so what you're doing here is you're making an OMNY account because in order to link your reduced fare benefits, you do actually have to have an account. So you're going to show them that you have reduced fare. Having an account is what links that to the OMNY system. So then you're going to follow the steps to register like you would with, other apps or websites. I would suggest if you have Gmail to go ahead and just click on this thing that says continue with Google. It's easy. You can just link your Gmail to it so that you don't have to remember a password every time or another password every time. If not, you can just, if you don't have Google or you don't want to do it that way, you can enter your email address and then just make up a password and re-enter your password. It does have all those password requirements, so just be aware of that. And then you're going to hit next. If you chose to register by entering your email, you should receive like a confirmation email, and then you just need to click on that link in order to activate your account. If you use Google, then it's just straightforward. They don't send you an activation link. But now you're registered. Now you have an OMNY account. So make sure you keep track of, if you have a username and password, just make sure you know what that is because you'll need to log into this. You may need to log into this eventually to make any changes to your account. Okay, so then what you want to do, you'll see at the bottom of your screen in the right-hand corner, you'll see this little tab that says OMNY Assistant. And this can actually help you with a number of different things, but I'll show you how it helps you switch over that reduced fare card. And it's kind of like a little bot. It's like a chat thing that guides you through the process. When you go in here, when you click on the assistant, it's going to ask you, what can I help you with today? And what you want to say is switch from reduced fare MetroCard to OMNY. Again, this is if you have a MetroCard, a reduced fare for being 65 plus, or if it's for having a disability, or both or either. So switch your reduced fare MetroCard to OMNY. All right. So once you click on that, they're going to ask you to provide your reduced fare ID number. Okay. So this is going to be the number under your name on the back of your current reduced fare MetroCard. So just go ahead and enter that number. And then once you've done that, they're going to say, how do you want this to be connected to your payment system? So how do you want to pay, basically? So you're going to choose one of these to pay for your reduced fare MetroCard every time. Okay. And it's important that you use the same thing every time, because that's the way your rides are going to add up for something like fare capping, which we'll talk about again in a minute. So you can say, I want to use the digital wallet on my smart device. If you have a digital wallet set up, that's great. A contactless personal credit or debit card, so just a card that has a thing on it. Again, just remember that that's the card you're using to pay for your fare. Keep using that one in order for it to add up. And also too, because you're linking your reduced fare, that's the card that will actually charge you the reduced fare rate, as opposed to if you use another one, you will get charged full price. So make sure you have a designated card or a card in your digital wallet that is the one that you always use for transit, because that will be the one where you only get charged, $145 instead of $290. Okay. All right. So choose one of these. There's also the option, if this seems like too much, later in the year, they should be mailing OMNY cards to everyone who gets reduced fare. So you can wait on that if you'd like to. This is a good way to get a head start, though. And also, too, if you're already, comfortable using digital wallets or contactless cards, this is easy and you won't have to wait for them to mail the OMNY card to you. But that is an option if you don't want to go through all these steps yet. Okay, so if you choose to pay with a contactless card, you're going to enter the card information when you're prompted by the chat. Once they said you're all set, that means you are good to go. You could go to the station right now and tap whatever card you said you were going to use, or, tap your phone if you have a digital wallet, and it should charge you the reduced fare price. One thing to keep in mind is that you're not actually going to see that on the screen when you do it. You're not going to see how much it charged you. So go back and check. Like, you might want to double check in your account. You can check in the app itself just to make sure you're getting charged to the right rate. And once it does, that's the card that you'll be using to pay that reduced rate every time. Somebody also asked about transfers with the OMNY card. Transfers with the OMNY card work the same way they do with MetroCard. So, you have a free transfer within 2 hours of your initial fare payment. The difference is, let's say, all right, you take the train, you get off, you get on a bus. You're going to tap your card or whatever payment method you use again. And one thing to keep in mind is you're not going to, so don't expect to see that. What it does is it totals everything up at the end of the day. So if you tap and then you tap again within 2 hours, it's not going to charge you for that second one. And this is whether you're paying full price or half price. All right. So you get that 2 hour window. And again, don't look to the screen itself to tell you have a free transfer. It will calculate it on its own. If it's something you're concerned about, you can always check your bank account or the apps and make sure that it's doing it correctly. But I haven't run into any problems with it yet. Another thing, though, switching your reduced fare MetroCard to OMNY doesn't disable your reduced fare MetroCard. So if you're worried that you still have some amount on your MetroCard that you need to spend down, that's okay. You can go ahead and sign up for OMNY and then still spend down your MetroCard. Eventually, all reduced fare payments, all payments of all kind, are going to be through the OMNY system. In order to, get on the subway, you're going to have, either an OMNY card or one of these other forms of contactless payment. So just so you know. So if you do want to spend down your MetroCard, it's a good idea to do it kind of sooner rather than later. So, you'll be ready when it's all OMNY. Okay, and then we talked a little bit last time about the fare capping program. This is something that goes with the OMNY system as well. So if you're using OMNY, and this is critical, if you're using OMNY and you're using the same payment method every time, so you're using, the digital wallet that you said you would use, or you're using the specific debit card you said you would use, you'll never pay more than, if you're paying full price, $34 in a week. After you've spent $34, all your rides are free. Okay. And if you're paying half price, you'll never spend more than $17 in a week. Any 7-day period. It starts, the first time you swipe. So if it's been 7 days and you've already paid $17, everything after that will be free, which is great. Like if you're someone who uses the subway a lot, that can really sort of add up, definitely. But make sure you're using that same payment method every single time. That's how it calculates it. Some other things to know. Okay, like I said earlier, Omni is still not available for fare riders. I will let you know as soon as I have updates about that. But if you are someone who receives fares right now, hold on to your Metro card for the moment so that you're still paying the reduced fare. And if you're 65 plus, or if you're somebody with a disability, and you don't currently have a reduced fare Metro card, you can apply for one by following the steps at this link. The process is a little funny right now. Is what you do is you apply. You can apply online or by mail or in person at one of their stations downtown. What will happen at this point in the process is they will send you a reduced fare Metro card, and then you'll go through those steps like we did at the beginning to switch it over to Omni. If you are 65 plus or you have a disability and you don't currently have a reduced fare card, worth it. It's half price. Okay, and then this is just a general link, omny.info, how Omni works. If you go to omny.info, which was that site that I told you at the beginning to set this all up, there's tons of questions and answers, troubleshooting things that can be really helpful. Also, you can always call for assistance too, or send a request to omny.info.